Brittanysheheen, Brittanysheheen. Like the student who spoke in the presentation, I am Hispanic, Caucasian, and the daughter of an immigrant. But unlike what we heard presented, my mother came from Cuba. There's an entire community of Cubans right here in Las Vegas. The history and plight of Cubans and how we became Americans will not be properly taught in schools under this law, because the truth of the inequities and horrible governance that brought us into this nation isn't currently politically popular to point out. Instead, what's popular to point out is Cuba's excellent literacy programs. There's no freedom of speech, no democratic presidential elections since the 1950s, no religious freedom, no economic rights, and no eating beef. I could go on. There's 6 decades of communist history the schools won't bother mentioning. The presenter told us the communities must be accurately portrayed, and she used the phrase Latino. Well, I'm not Latino, I'm Hispanic. Even the presenter seems to not know the difference between the words, which doesn't instill confidence. Another speaker called the student that presented biracial. Hispanic isn't even a race. It is baffling that this presenter used another sentence in closing, how close we are to internment camps. Internment camps, this innocent little bill we're talking about, is conjuring, conjecture on internment camps. This should display how political these educational standards are. Further, the bill reads the history and contributions of these selected groups, including LGBT. It says kindergartners under the law need to learn the history and contributions of LGBT people. This is inappropriate. I wouldn't talk to 5-year-old kids about any sexuality or preferences or how important a group of people with certain sexualities are. This isn't okay with many parents. The bill is designed to force politicized cultural concepts onto children. We plainly don't trust you to teach our children these things. This law is not needed and it is not wanted. Washoe School District just said they adopted anti-racism standards, so why does it need to be state law? It doesn't give more tools in the toolbox. It sets standards of what materials can be used based on checking off boxes of certain kinds of people, but definitely not Cubans like me. Please vote no on this politicized education bill.
Thank you. Let's go to the next caller.